using whiteboard not because I don't trust this technology, but simply because I don't have my laptop with me. And I want to talk to you about the pain I started to feel today. And it was influenced by the talk of Peter, who talked about procritic stuff, and it increased even more when Tom started to talk about his his stuff about contrarian Perl. So I'll just remind you what his chart looked like. Here was the quality of code, and here was the frequency, and it was like this. And here's the bad code. It's industry standard, and it's good. And when you write a code, you most possibly, when you write the code that you are going to support in the future, you most possibly want to write good code, because it's good, it's easy to support, it's easy to read, and so on. So the first obstacle when you come to a company, especially with lots of legacy code, and start telling people that that you want to write good code and that you want to make all the code good, will be the first obstacle will be the person who can be your best friend or your worst enemy, depending on how do you deal with that person. It is your IT manager. Because IT managers are not like normal people. They they think differently from developers. And when you tell them, I want to write the very good code, is it okay? They say, why? And you have to explain using their language. And the worst thing to do for you is to tell, oh, I heard that Tom Hurkens said that at the conference. Because this is an appeal to authorities, and this is considered a bad thing in general. And the second thing is that you don't really know how your boss relates. And I mean, what does your boss think about Tom Hurkens, for example? Because your boss might like him, but might not, because he might remember that Tom said some stupid thing in the past, or maybe he doesn't, or might not like him for some another reason, or might just decide that it's like doesn't matter for them. So I think that the managers normally think in terms of price of implementation. And if we talk about the price, it's possibly price is something like here for bad code, for industry standard it's somewhere here, and for the good code it's much higher, so it's more like an exponential chart. And what can you do to convince your manager to pay more for the good code? I think that you can talk about risks, because risks are high for the bad code. There is a risk that the money will be lost. And for industry standard, it's a bit lower. For good code, it's the lowest, and it's something like this, I think. And somewhere, nobody knows where for particular case, but somewhere there is a point where quality, price, and the risk meet, and it calls acceptable code. So, what particular tools you can use to make your code base better? So what came to my mind is like Perl tidy, Perl critic, and tests and documentation. And I think you can choose tools that need constant efforts, like introducing Perl tidy or Perl critic, but constantly bring a value. And you can look at other tools like testing that need linear efforts. The more code you write, the more tests you need to write additionally. Actually, it depends. on your manager and on the team what you will finally add to your project. But I think that I just wanted to say that besides your manager, you also have to talk to your team, because your team also has opinion. Team members also have opinions, and it's not very easy to talk with the team.